Yeah, let's check that out during the break. But you can actually, though, I will tip people off. You can win tickets to the World Series because of the Home Run Derby tonight. You have to go to MLB.com for that. So I have entered.
Okay.
And I will give you the tip that will win you the title or possibly take World Series tickets out of my own pocket.
Yes.
The upset, El Gary over Giancarlo Stanton.
You have to pick the person?
You heard it here first. You have to pick every bracket.
Who is this?
You have to pick every bracket.
Let me write this down. Who is this?
El Gary.
El Gary.
Of the New York Yankees.
Over who?
Over defending champion Giancarlo Stanton. He of the 500-foot bombs.
I wrote that down for next week.
Write it down. He wrote it down. I saw him do it. But I'm telling you, that's the big pick.
Okay, let's take a break right now. You're listening to From the Press Box right here on 90.3 WHPC. I'm Rob Leonard. He's Tim Leonard. Tim is on Twitter, but he never promotes this show.
I'm always on Twitter.
Well, promote the show occasionally.
Oh, man.
Well, what's your Twitter?
At Real Tim Leonard.
Look over there. I think, is that a bird?
No, I think it's a plane.
Yeah, you're right. It's pulling a banner.
The brighter side.
Hi, I'm Sarah Albertson, host of The Brighter Side, a show showing a brighter side of the world. Weekly guests who are sharing their stories in hopes of moving and inspiring others to do good in our world. The brighter it is, the better.
I want to experience the brighter side.
Listen Wednesday afternoons at 4 and Sunday nights at 11:30 on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Bring on the positivity.
Hey, sports fans, are you looking for grand slams? Well, we got them. Penalty shots? Oh, yeah. Touchdowns? Tons of them. Buzzer beaters? All you could ever want. Hey, through the good times and the bad times, it's all sports, all the time. Hi, this is Jacob Volk. Are you a diehard sports fan like me? Then tune in to Beyond the Game every Friday afternoon at 3, also available as a podcast on iTunes. I'm joined by Brandon Johnson, Dominic Arbolino, and Eric Fischetti to break down the latest and greatest in sports. It's all on the Voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Okay. Yo.
Tell your friends about the Nassau Morning Madhouse. Hear what you're missing.
Check it out.
Check it out.
There has been a Twitter beef about a specific candy.
There's going to be a candy war?
Yeah.
We'll get so fat.
Oh, I love the sound of this already.
There. Grab the pitchforks, let's go.
We're going to make my pitchforks out of Twizzlers then.
Reese's. Now, everybody say it with me. Reese's.
Reese's.
No, it's Reese's.
So, you know how goose is geese? Well, why isn't moose meese?
I don't know.
I've been saying meese. Just like how Reese's is Reese.
I think it's like because it's a bird and that's a moose.
But still, moose meese?
Merce
hearse. I could be a rapper.
You could be a rapper. And you know what? You could be called DJ Reese's Pieces.
The Nassau Morning Madhouse. Weekday mornings at 9.
Yeah.
On the Voice of Nassau Community College.
90.3 WHPC.
Do you feel cooler now, Timothy? The air conditioner's been on for a while?
Not really.
Well, I don't know what else to do with it.
You know what's cool?
No.
There was an internet video with this song, among others.
Yes.
And little kids listening to it. Like the kids were like maybe between the ages of like 9 and 12.
Yeah,
and they played a song and the kids were like, whoa, who's this band? And they're like, AC/DC. And they're like, that's a really weird name for a band, but I kind of like this song. Or I think my parents played this song or whatever.
So is that. Our parents didn't play rock and roll.
No.
We didn't grow up on rock and roll at all. And that's okay, I guess. Anyway, we just checked. The All-Star Game does not affect the World Series. As a matter of fact, last year, the agreement between the Players Association and Major League Baseball, they took that away. So that is a good thing because it's not the way.
It was stupid.
But how do you judge it, though? That's the thing. You know, if
what do you mean how do you judge?
How do you judge who gets the home game and the away game? Is it do they switch it now or
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I always look at it as like it used to be the team who had the most wins, but they can't do that anymore.
I mean, they could with the interleague play. I mean, the American League is playing National League all over the place.
Okay. No, we're not talking about the Dodger granny. I don't know if you heard about this. There's a thing on the internet where some granny who loves the Dodgers
On a Jumbotron, decided to flash the crowd.
Yeah, and the place erupted.
It's a good thing we're not talking about it.
That's like when there was a professional wrestler who's a women's champion, not the Fabulous Moolah, but her sidekick or something.
I have no idea.
And one year during one of the wrestling events, she did the same thing. And my friend Pete said he nearly died, had a heart attack.
Well, a fan in St. Louis did the same thing, right behind the plate.
Hey, you never know.
A much younger and more attractive fan.
I remember that lady who used to be at the Met games in the 80s, and she would spin her hands around for the opposing
crazy
team.
woman.
And then they moved the seats higher, so you couldn't see her as much.
Smart move by the Mets.
Yeah, so what's happened to the Yankees, brother?
Nothing good.
They really slid the last month, really. I don't know what happened to them.
7-18 in the last 25 games.
That's not good.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda beat the Brewers yesterday, if not for a Chase Headley, just a home run that just took a little bit of a right turn, and it was literally about 2 inches foul. You saw, they showed the replay, and you saw the shadow, and you saw how big the shadow was on the foul pole, or fair pole, as Warner Wolf would call it. And it was that close. It was just ridiculous. And that turned, that made it, it was 5-3 Brewers. That home run would have made it 6-5 Yankees. And instead, Chase Headley went on to strike out. The inning wound up, the Brewers got out of the inning, and they wound up winning the game. So, positives are Clint Frazier is showing that he is a major league hitter. And it's really surprising to me. This is a kid who has been in the major leagues for less than 2 weeks. He has genuinely retooled his swing in a matter of a few days. And he's not chasing like he was early on. He hit the home run in his first game and had a good first game, but then he started chasing pitches, and he doesn't have to do that because his bat speed, as Brian Cashman said, is legendary. So they have him kind of leaning back, and he's lifting up his front leg to keep his weight back. And the kid's hitting over 300.
Right.
So he's proven he belongs. He's not going to stay up because when Aaron Hicks comes back, then Clint Frazier probably will return to the minor leagues. I don't see why he wouldn't. But it's another positive sign for the future, and that's what the Yankees want. Now the one thing that bothers me about Clint Frazier is this. When he was promoted to the Yankees, he said this, and this was not a good thing for him to say. He didn't realize it. But he said his manager at AAA, the advice that he gave him was, be a good teammate, which implies that he wasn't a good teammate at AAA.
Well, sometimes players come in and they think they're, God's gift. And
not rookies. Rookies in Major League. If you act like that in the Major Leagues as a rookie, you are going to be shown very quickly who you are and what you are.
Who was the Met who came in and you hated him because the Newsday had Phenom on the cover?
Who, Greg Jeffries?
Greg Jeffries,
yeah.
I can't remember.
And they hated him. And what happened? What happened? They basically ran him all out of New York.
They did.
Because A, he didn't have any backbone, and B, he wasn't as good as he thought he was.
I remember Timmy was, we won't say where he was working, but he came home one day and he saw that headline and was screaming.
I don't even remember that.
I remember you came, you were I won't say what you were saying, but you were screaming your head off.
Probably profanity.
You were more than profanity. But Aaron Judge is doing well. He's a guy who could have the Triple Crown if he keeps going.
I certainly don't expect Triple Crown numbers from Aaron Judge. I certainly don't expect the batting average to stay where it is.
But you don't know that.
The power numbers, let's put it this way. Aaron Judge has been having extremely intelligent at-bats for a guy who's really in his first season of Major League Baseball. I don't even want to call what he did last year because he had not even 100 at-bats, or maybe 100 at-bats.
So then he can still be Rookie of the Year this year.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about.
And struck out in almost half of the at-bats that he had last year.
Right.
So what he has done in terms of recrafting not only his swing, but his approach, that's the key, is the approach. And if he swings at a bad pitch, then, all right, fine, leave it there. It's all right, it's just one strike. Or if a pitcher throws a good pitch, or if an umpire makes a call that he doesn't like, leave it back there. It happened already. I can't do anything about it. I have another chance to. And he said last year, if a pitcher got him 0-1 and he disagreed with the call, or if he was swinging at something stupid, it would get in his head, and he was like already out at that point, just from one pitch. So that approach, and just remembering and continuing to drill it into his head. All right, it's one pitch. Don't worry about it. It's like. And players have told him, look, you're going to get one pitch per at bat. You need to hit that pitch, and he really has tried to focus on that now, and he's trying to put himself in position where pitchers have to throw him a pitch he can hit. And the other part of that is now that because he's had so much success in his first half, he's getting a lot of walks now. And like there was a point in yesterday's game where I just thought that he had such an intelligent at bat because Gardner was on first, and this was late in the game. I think it was in the 8th inning. And nothing resulted from it, but it was such a smart at bat, and it shows how far he's progressed. But Gardner was on first. The count got to 2-2 or 1-2, I think it was, and Gardner stole second. No, actually, it was 2-2, and Gardner stole second on the 2-2 pitch, which was low, and it wound up being 3-2. So now Gardner on second, first base is open. Judge is smart enough to say, all right, you know what? They're probably going to walk me. And I have to be very selective here. And the pitch came in, and it was a breaking ball, and it broke a little bit down and in. It was close enough that last year I'm fairly confident Judge would have swung at it. And this year, kept the bat on his shoulder, looked the ball right into the catcher's glove. Hey, that's ball 4. I'm going to first base. And it might not sound like much because it's just a walk, but it's an intelligent at-bat. He's not swinging at a pitcher's pitch and getting himself out. As I said, he's going to first base. Now it's first and second, and now Gary Sanchez is coming up, and maybe a swing from him could win the game.
When do the pitchers in the American League start to figure out what he's doing? Where
they what are they going to figure out? When they throw a strike, he hits it over the fence.
Well, sometimes you start to realize, okay, he can't hit this pitch, or I can trick him with this
He's
pitch.
made adjustments because early on, the thinking was you can get Judge out with inside heat, and he very quickly eliminated that that element from his from their thinking because he hit a few home runs, and it's a constant cat and mouse game with pitchers and hitters. And if they think they have something that they can exploit you with, all right, fine. So take a little maybe 3-inch step back in the batter's box, and then you can adjust. So if they throw inside, well, now they're throwing into your wheelhouse. So it's these constant little miniature adjustments that you can't even notice on television unless you really know what you're looking for.
Right.
Because all these stances in at bats, they all look the same. Except when Don Mattingly was tinkering with his swing like every other at bat when he was playing for the Yankees. I mean, he was famous for that. But with Judge, it's just get in the box, and when he sees that pitch, that one good pitch per at bat that all hitters say that your pitchers are going to show you, he's hitting it, and he's been hitting it. So and he's hitting it hard. Plus, he's getting his singles. It's not like everything he hits is over the fence. He's getting his singles. He's getting base hits. He's getting walks. He's getting on base. His on base percentage is something like 450 or 460, which is ridiculous.
Right.
So that's great.
We should say that the Yankees are 3.5 behind the Red Sox.
Yes.
And they're tied with Tampa Bay, though I think they're ahead of Tampa Bay in the technical standings.
Well, yeah, the Yankees are
technically they're
two behind in the loss column to Boston, and while they may be tied technically in the standings with Tampa Bay, they're 2 ahead of Tampa Bay in the loss column. So, it's as baseball people will say, you can't make up losses. You can make up wins. You can't make up losses.
That's true.
So it's not nearly as bad. And plus, the other thing you have to remember, if you're a Yankee fan, Matt Holliday should be back Friday when the season starts up again. Starlin Castro is going to be back soon, might be back by Friday. The Yankees start the second half in Boston with a 4-game series. So in theory, I'm certainly not calling for them to sweep the Red Sox like you said the Mets were going to sweep the Nationals last week.
I said I hope they would sweep the Nationals.
Well, they didn't step up.
They didn't step up.
But if the Yankees
Glad you're using my phrases.
If the Yankees can somehow manage to sweep the Red Sox, which I'm certainly not expecting, but 3 out of 4 would be outstanding. They'll put a massive dent in what Boston has been doing in the last month. I mean, the last month has been a real turning point in the American League. I still don't know in fact, I still don't think that the Red Sox have the pitching that they need. Rick Porcello, who won the Cy Young Award last year, is